Hello and welcome back to UCL Review, where we round up the biggest results and talking points from the best sporting competition in the world. Joining me today, it's Henry Hill, and we're kicking off in Turin, Henry, because Juventus lost to Barcelona.
Yes, that's right. Juventus' challenging start to the season continued as they lost 2-0 at home to Barcelona, thanks to goals from Ousmane, Dembele and Lionel Messi, a penalty right at the end. So going into this game, Juventus sat in 5th in Serie A, 4 points behind AC Milan, because although they were unbeaten, they had drawn 3 of their opening 5 league games, including the 2 most recent games against Crotone and a frustrating draw against Hellas Verona this weekend too. It's not been the best of starts under Andrea Pirlo. You can't blame him completely, but this is always going to be a tricky game against Barcelona. However, a team who have never won at in Turin before, so it's an exciting opportunity for them too. They're even slightly fortunate to be so high in the league because they were gifted 3 points after Napoli had to pull out their fixture due to COVID. So like I said, a really tricky start for Juventus. Anyway, Pirlo's resources were pretty stretched going into the game too. Cristiano Ronaldo is obviously the big name missing from that side. He got tested positive again too late on. I think there was a 24-hour window and he tested positive within that. Not very happy about it on social media from what I could see. And they're also about Chiellini and Matthias de Ligt and long-term absentee Alexandro. And to be fair, their bench looked pretty stretched when it came to attacking options. And this meant they were forced to start with Demiral alongside Bonucci in the centre half of defence for just his 3rd start of the season. A front 3 of Kulusevski, Chiesa and Morata as well, and Dybala was floating around in there too. So the game started, it was a pretty frenetic start actually. Juventus, they started quite poorly. Demiral gifting an unbelievable back pass to Messi, whose shot was blocked. And then Griezmann hit the post all within 2 minutes. So it was early warning signs there. Then after 14 minutes, Barcelona actually did take the lead. Messi's pinged. I mean, listen, I get annoyed at the FD office when everyone... Messi does one little good highlight and everyone jumps on it on social media. But to be fair, it was a pretty stunning crossfield pass with his left boot.
It was awesome.
Yeah, perfectly landed to Dembele, who's then strided forward. One of Dembele's best performances in a Barcelona shirt for a long time. He stride forward with purpose, and then he got a bit lucky actually. His shot looped up and over Szczesny into the back of the net, but what I must say, like the pass from Messi is really what made that goal, and it was his 35th assist in the competition. So only the assist king and the goat of football, Cristiano Ronaldo, has provided more than Messi since his debut in 2004-05. Don't get at me for that.
That will get the comments though.
Yeah, I'll be careful from that one. Anyway, Morata got involved in the action, but it was a pretty busy night for the Spaniard up top. He really did try, but he had a goal correctly ruled out for handball, and after 29 minutes it happened again, this time for offside. And could you believe it, after 55 minutes it happened for a 3rd time. He was narrowly offside. It was the right decision. I don't know how they took so long to arrive at that decision. It was quite clearly offside even from the quick replay. But yeah, that's 3 goals disallowed for the Spaniard, who thought he'd netted the 3rd time, so pretty tough on them. That said, Juventus didn't really deserve to score beyond that. Yeah, Barcelona played out the game with ease. They actually, Dougie, we were talking during the game, they actually looked pretty slick throughout the game. I thought they looked pretty in control. Pedri on the left wing had Cuadrado on toast for much of the game. And Messi, they almost tried too hard to score. They were always trying to pass it into the back of the net. They had a number of opportunities, and it sort of summed up right at the end when Ansu Fati had a sort of one-on-one and decided to lay off Martin Braithwaite, which I'll never really understand that.
That was baffling.
But I mean, Juventus had to finish the game with 10 men after Demiral was sent off for a 2nd yellow card. And so not a great start to his Champions League career, and only a 2nd start in the competition. And Messi topped it off with that penalty after Fati was brought down by Bernardeschi, who is having a shocker at the moment for his club.
Yeah.
Really poor last weekend too. But this result continues Juve's poor run of form against Barcelona. They've only won 1 of their 7 meetings in the competition, drawing twice and losing 4. Of course, they lost that Champions League final a few years ago. This result continues Juve's poor form against Barcelona. They've only won 1 of their 7 meetings in all competitions, drawing twice, losing 4. But it was a great result for Barcelona. Dougie, what do you think about that?
Yeah, absolutely crucial considering what happened at the weekend in El Clasico, and that result had left them 12th in the table domestically, albeit with 2 games in hand on leaders Real Sociedad. But whilst they might only be 2 points clear of relegation as it stands in their Liga, their Champions League campaign has actually got off to a very good start indeed. They made short work of Ferencvaros last week with a 5-0 victory and backed that 5-1 victory, and backed that up with a very comfortable win against Juve here. They had 13 shots with 4 on target to Juve's 8 and 0. And Koeman's main decisions of starting Ousmane Dembele, who didn't back for until the 80th minute, I think it was, in our Clásico at the weekend, and Pedri really came off. As well as Barcelona's defence looking incredibly comfortable. I thought Araujo played very well alongside Longley in the centre of defence in the first half. Bar those couple of chances for Morata, those offside goals, etc. They kept their attack to a very minimum. And even when Frankie de Jong was forced into going into central defence and Busquets came alongside Pjanic, I thought that might cause some issues in the second half, but it wasn't really to be. It was pretty comfortable. For Juventus, Dybala and Chiesa were pretty disappointing. They created just one chance and completed just one dribble between them, so disappointing night for them. I thought Kulusevski was probably their best player, but when he was only so prepared to cut in on his left-hand side, which is obviously his favoured side, it made his attacking quite predictable. The link-up play between him, Morata, and Chiesa hasn't quite, as you'd expect, it's a new partnership, hasn't quite been as fluid as it could. And Dybala had only played 90 minutes once this season against Hellas Verona at the weekend. So there's still plenty of work for Pirlo to do in an attacking sense. For Barcelona, I thought Longley was excellent at the back. He made 5 tackles and interceptions, completed 1 dribble and 88% of his passes. Man of the match, I was surprised he actually went off. I thought it was actually Ousmane Dembele. I've got to give it to him. As you said, probably his best performance in a Barcelona shirt for about 12 months. 1 tackle, 5 dribbles, 2 goals, 2 shots, 1 goal rather. And although the goal was slightly fortuitous, deflecting off Chiesa's heel almost, he certainly deserved it. After he had a very poor first 10-15 minutes in the game, then really grow into it, and I thought he was excellent afterwards. And it was great to see him so confident and prepared to regularly dribble at the opposition as well. I thought he was excellent. And it's great news for Barcelona elsewhere in the group as well. Dinamo Kiev's 2-2 draw with Ferencvaros means Barcelona are in complete control with 6 points to Juve's 3, and Dinamo Kiev and Ferencvaros have a point apiece. Next up, Juve travel to newly promoted Spezia this weekend, who are currently 14th in Serie A, before they take on Ferencvaros next Wednesday. Need to bounce back with a win massively in the Champions League. Meanwhile, Barcelona will be looking to take their Champions League form into their game against 15th place Alaves this weekend, and that's a must-win game for them at the weekend as well, to try and get some semblance of momentum going in La Liga. Henry, would you like to give more credit to Barcelona, or were you more disappointed in Juve?
Juve, just like I said earlier, they really missed Ronaldo, Dybala and Kulusevski. Jordi Alba never looked troubled by either of those. They both kept trying to cut in. So yeah, I would say I thought Barcelona actually deserved more credit than Juventus deserves sort of negativity. Off their bench, the only options they could bring on was Artur, Weston McKennie, who came on in like a weird left attacking midfield role, and then Bernardeschi, who's, like we said, a shot of confidence. They didn't really have any choice of what to do off the bench. So if it wasn't working, if Morata's goals weren't going in, then they was kind of stumped in that regard. So yeah, I'm going to give credit to Barcelona on this occasion.
Fair enough, yeah, and a difficult night for Demiral as well, who I do rate, but had a really difficult evening. And you think that Bentancur will have better games than that as well. I thought Rabiot was pretty anonymous, really. For someone with such amazing physical gifts, I don't know. I just don't think he has enough impact on big games. But guys, we want to hear from you. Were you more disappointed in Juve or impressed by Barcelona? Let us know in the comments down below. And let's move on to Old Trafford, where there was some absolute madness.
So when the Champions League draw came out, we really thought Man United were in a group of death. But another great European night, and this time at Old Trafford. Diggy, what happened there?
Yeah, Man United put in a vintage attacking display, at least in the latter half. Obviously, we were watching Juventus-Barcelona, so we've only caught the highlights, but Man United looked magnificent as they beat RB Leipzig 5-0 with goals from Greenwood, Martial and a Rashford hat-trick, which means, of course, that they've now beaten last year's finalists and last year's semi-finalists in their opening 2 games, making light work of, as you said, those group of death predictions. It's obviously been a strange start to the season for United. They've won just 2 of their opening 5 league games, leaving them 15th, 6 points off first place Everton, although they do have a game in hand. But their Champions League campaign has got off to a brilliant start, as we said. That 2-1 victory in Paris, sealed by that Rashford winner, followed by this demolition of the Bundesliga leaders here. But yeah, as I said, this was pretty excellent, really. They only had 47% of the ball, and United are at their best when they have less possession, you've got to say. But they created 14 shots with 7 on target to Leipzig's 9 and 2. And it took until the 21st minute for United to break the deadlock. Pogba strode forward and played in Greenwood. I believe that's probably Pogba's first assist of the season, and he looked like he was starting to find his feet. He's definitely getting back to full fitness following coronavirus, which will hopefully be me in a couple of weeks. It is a really pretty horrible disease. Anyway, Pogba strode forward, played in Greenwood, who did look offside, we have to say, but he did finish expertly. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how that got away with that on VAR. He definitely looked at least a good few inches offside. And then United were absolutely rampant in the latter part of the game as Leipzig sort of seemingly fell apart. Upamecano got bypassed way too easily by Rashford. Sabitzer then gave away a penalty, and Rashford, very gentlemanly, then gave it to Martial to get on the score sheet and get his season up and going before he sealed his hat-trick as well. The crazy thing was that Rashford actually only came on in the 63rd minute, meaning that he's just the second Man United player ever to score a hat-trick as a substitute. The first, his manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who did so against Nottingham Forest in February 1999. But Henry, you have to say that this was a pretty surprise result given the form of Leipzig going into this.
I completely agree with you. I mean, I really thought they were going to cause them. You would never have predicted a 5-0 defeat because unlike Man United, no. RB had actually started the season exceptionally well. Like we said, they're at top of the Bundesliga table, unbeaten in 7 games in all competitions with 6 wins and 1 draw, and currently sit 1 point ahead of Bayern and Dortmund at the top the table. I mean, they lost their best player in Timo Werner this summer as well, so it's an incredible start to the season. They won their opening Champions League game 2-0 against Istanbul Basaksehir thanks to an Angelino brace, who I know you love, Dougie. He's 2 great goals there, and a lot of questions about why he was even let go.
Fellow Baldy.
Yes, true. Well, I mean, he's got a bit more of a shiny top, I'd say. But it's a big wonder. Although he doesn't really play in the left back role, he plays a bit more advanced, I'd say, almost on the sort of the left of a front three. But of course, he's capable of dropping back as well. But only Dortmund had conceded fewer than their 3 league goals so far. But here they were absolutely ripped open. We need to give some credit to Luke Shaw, who was excellent with 8 tackles and interceptions in 1 his aerial dribble, 2 key passes, and even a shot for the left back. The man of the match, however, has to be Marcus Rashford, the man of the moment in many ways. He came on, like you said, at the 60th minute, registered 2 dribbles, led off 4 shots, obviously scored 3 times, and now with 6 goals and 2 assists in 7 league and Champions League games so far. I mean, the first 2 finishes were just so confident and supreme, and just hitting the corners. I just love Rashford at the moment. But yeah, Man United are now 3 points clear of the top of Group H and in pole position to qualify. Next up for them is the visit of Arsenal this Sunday afternoon, while RB Leipzig also face a tough test as they travel to Gladbach, who sit 6th and will really be licking their wounds after letting that 2-0 lead at Real Madrid slip. But thank you very much for watching UCL Review. If you think we've missed anything out, or if you've got an observation, let us know in the comments below. Dougie, is there anything else you wanted to push?
Yes, why don't you go check out the 10 that dropped yesterday. 10 players who have started the season on fire. Go check out the Football Pyramid from the weekend. Go check out last week's Continental Club. There is loads of good content every single day on Eurofootball Daily for you guys to get your teeth stuck into. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye!